fucking hilarious. It's so fun. Like, it's crazy how, like, all this shit's going on. She's really folding this nigga, like, for real. Yo, it's Shiro, this is Shiro's TV, and welcome to another installment of Cinema Junkies.
Hang on, it's movie time! Go, go, start it up! This is the best party ever.
I had the pleasure of seeing the Chainsaw Man Reze Arc movie in theaters. I saw it in dub, and then obviously I had to wash my hands of that completely, and then go see it in the 4DX theater and see it in all of its glory, and I gotta say, it lived up to all of my expectations.
Tight, yeah!
But we're gonna get into the whole movie and everything, and then I'll give you my final score at the end, but I gotta say it was an absolute whirlwind, and I'm ready to get into it. This is one of my favorite parts in this whole sort of series arc, if you will. And literally one of my favorite anime slash mangas ever, and I can't wait to just see how it progresses from here. But let's just get into the parts. So we're gonna go straight into the beginning, and everything sort of starts with a Makima movie date, and this is a really interesting part of the movie where we're sort of watching through Denji.
So cute!
And watching movies as well, and basically all of them suck except the last one, and it's a very interesting, touching moment they have together, and it just sort of deepens Denji's desire to be with Makima and have a life with Makima. That's what he wants to ask for in the end, you know, once he's defeated the Gun Devil, what have you. And so here he is reminiscing about Makima like usual, and in comes into his life a rambunctious girl by the name of Reze, and they sort of have this really cute meet cute, and I really enjoyed their chemistry and everything that they did together. The little coffee shop visit, the little night out at the school after hours, and then we finally get the flip. Obviously, Reze is not the woman she claims to be. Reze is not just some ditzy girl who happens to just be out here rizzing up teenage boys.
I'll teach you everything. You should let me show you.
She is clearly part of some bigger apparatus, some chase after the chainsaw devil, and we sort of get this twist. And one of my favorite parts in the whole entire movie has to be Jesus Christ, the part where her eye is twitching and she's sort of fighting the vessel for the typhoon devil.
するとなぜだか大体みんな俺の言うことをおとなしく聞いてくれるんだ。だからあとは殺すだけ。
And she basically folds him in like 2 seconds, and that was freaking just as amazing. And that's just fucking glory. But also, I really enjoyed the little festival scene. All of that was great. And then we actually finally get the real turn, you know, where it just, everything kicks off, all the romance cuts. And we just start getting the greatest fight scenes you've ever seen in your fucking goddamn life. And just the iconic twist where she's got the tongue in her mouth. I read something really interesting where like she did it during the fireworks so it wouldn't actually hurt Denji as much because people wouldn't think the bombs were bombs. They would think they're fireworks and they would have less fear. Very interesting idea, and I think it's probably true. But as we go forward, she just chases him, and we get Beam as the Shark Devil, the Shark Fiend.
Lord Chainsaw! What a glorious honor!
And he's helping out. He's being in clutch. He wouldn't have survived if it wasn't for him, but he's definitely a little too touchy.
Lord Shinso, you know I'll serve you good, no matter what you ask. You're the best, the greatest, a righteous badass.
Oh, I'm not really into dudes, all right?
But I guess he worships whoever Chainsaw Man was before.
Lord Shinso, the genius, the smartest devil ever.
You know, and that's really interesting, like the sort of vestiges of the past clinging to Denji. So we get to a part where she finally catches up to Denji after Beam took him away, and she basically folds the entire second division. And God, if it's not the scariest shit ever, like I like how they always give you the perspective of the regular devil hunter worker, because they're really outclassed most of the time. I think that's what's really sad about this universe, is that you really just gotta take the L. Like Attack on Titan, you know what I mean? Like the weight of your life is so minuscule in the face of these devils that hate humans as well. So you're like bound to die anyway, you know? It's kind of fucked up. And another crazy iconic moment, just seeing Aki having to see his brethren like that and the future devil fucking with him in his head, that's just fucking ridiculous.
The future rules, the future rules. The future rules, say it with me, dude.
But we finally get another final showdown with Denji and Reze and the Typhoon Devil, and that's sort of like, not that it wasn't unmentionable, it's just that when I first watched it in the dub, we were so close that I couldn't make out like the cacophony of guts that sort of like Katsuki Fujimoto like thrives in, like the obscene guts and the colors and all that. But the second time I got the full feel for like Typhoon Devil, and I was like, the baby's weird, but I kind of get it, like in a calamity you would feel helpless and all that, and whirlwind of intestines, crazy shit. It was amazing the second time around. I got the fight, it was fucking great. So really interesting part. I don't know if I would put it up there because I feel like everything else was so fucking amazing that that's sort of the side note in a sense. But my favorite thing, I got a picture, I'll put it in the B-roll, the fucking chainsaw riding shark. Okay, that's fucking, the whole miscommunication with Beam is one of my favorite parts.
Beam! Shock mode!
In the anime, in the manga, fucking hilarious. It's just, it's so fun. Like, it's crazy how like all this shit's going on. She's really folding this nigga, like for real. I'm not kidding, like a fucking crate, dude. It's no joke. She really fucking ends him and ends that fucking shark guy. I don't know how he didn't die, because she really gave him not just like a 2-3 piece combo, she gave him like the whole bucket, bro. Like, she dumped those hits into him like crazy, okay? But finally, we sort of get a resolution where they get a stalemate, and I thought it was really nice. It sort of like ends where it starts, you know, with the pool scene. And now they're in the ocean and sort of like they sink together. They just had this like symbiotic relationship that was conveyed, obviously through that scene where the spider caught the moth or the butterfly or whatever. And then obviously through this scene as well, where like they're both going down with the ship. And I like that in the end, he sort of decided, hey, I'm gonna run away with you, and like this is the life I want to have with you, you know, on the run, Bonnie and Clyde type shit. I fucking love that. And then we get the most tragic ending you could ever think of, and who ends up stopping her from leaving that alley? None other than the crazy eye-stealing bitch herself, Makima. And she appears in the most ratchet way ever. She just emerges from a pile of rats. That's fucking trifling. And finally you start to begin to see that Makima is not, you know, all she's cracked up to be. Yeah, she folded those guys and basically erased them by crushing them, and that should have raised eyebrows before, but this is sort of kind of really fucked up. It feels wrong to do to Denji, and this whole betrayal and her slow death is just agonizing, you know? And there was a part, because I read the manga and I read the whole like sort of series arc for the manga manga, a little head into the War Devil arc, you know, all that, whatever. But this is my main focus. And one thing I never got conveyed to me through the manga apparently was that she saw him waiting for her, like from the alley, seeing him with the flowers. And I felt like that was such a heart-crushing scene. And we get the after credit. He's sitting there with the flowers. Power shows up. She saves the day in a sense, you know, and she's sort of attuned to his concerns in a way. But I like how he goes to eating the flowers like he sort of gave Rez the flower from his mouth. I thought that was fucking funny. But God, if that wasn't everything I fucking hoped it was, if you saw it in 4DX, let me know, because you had the best experience. That was the smartest fucking thing I ever did. All right, I hope they put it back in theaters. I could see it again that way. But with that assessment of the whole breakdown and everything, I will give you my review an 11 out of 10 movie. It's fucking unstoppable. Tatsuki Fujimoto is a phenom.
Yeehaw, motherfuckers!
And I'm looking forward to his other like sort of B-side show that's happening. I won't be reacting to that. I'll check it out because I read that already. I don't know how I'm feeling about, you know, checking that out, but there are some really interesting stories in there. Like Nayuta, very, very compelling stories. But that has been Cinema Junkies. It's been Shiro reviewing Chainsaw Man Rez arc. I'll see you next time. Peace.